Welcome to Laptop Radio. Today's topic is evolution of AI, and we have Glen Speckert with us. Hello, Glenn. How are you?
Hi, Michelle. Good to be here.
Hey, Glenn, first tell us your story.
Well, I guess I'm an MIT guy who got into AI way back in the 70s. And of course, AI wasn't as overall popular there. It was sort of a niche. And now, more recently, I've become re-involved as the technology has become more mainstream and recently completed a project that really delved into the agents aspect, having multiple agents and generative AI and working with ChatGPT and things of that nature.
Awesome. Can you tell us a little about the project?
Sure. It was a small business innovative research program for the Army. And as such, we were tasked with trying to understand how conflict goes from competition to conflict. How do you live in concert with, let's say, with China, and how do you keep the interactions to competition instead of war? And how do you sort of understand the will of the people and what's leading up to the events that eventually spill out from competition into conflict? As such, we were tracking the will and we were interacting with a chatbot which could understand the will through historical perspectives, as well as could work with other aspects besides ChatGPT to get the current state of the will and make projections.
How do you see the evolution of AI? How has AI changed over the years?
Currently, it's pretty much you have to learn a set of specialized tools, and OpenAI has sprung onto the forefront, and everybody has an OpenAI account. However, when you look at what most technologies do is as they're good, they get integrated into other tools like Photoshop or like just drawing that's assisted and even Siri that you're working with AI, really not to exploit the AI, but to exploit how you move through your daily life. And everything that you do is going to be affected by AI. And in that sense, it'll be just a part of everything that we do.
What do you think will happen in the future?
What do I think will happen in the future? Well, nobody knows what will happen in the future other than it'll be different than what anybody expects. And clearly, as we move towards artificial general intelligence, there's going to be a lot of surprises in terms of understanding how it works or doesn't work, or what's real or what's not real, and the impact of society. How does society deal with understanding the motives behind things, et cetera, et cetera.
Do you see any limitations of AI as of right now?
Oh, sure. The limitations of AI. You can say the sky is the limit, but then if you give it infinite amount of time, clearly common sense is something that is not so common. People are beginning to realize more and more that things that are often simple to people to grasp and understand can sometimes be difficult for machines, or it's hard to tell whether machines really understand what's going on and can act accordingly.
What are you looking forward to in terms of the development or how AI would evolve and how it could be more advanced? What are some of the features that you would like to see?
Sure, let's take the code writing capabilities, which have really only appeared in the last couple of years. The ability to build systems has always been you hire a team of people that have a distributed set of skills, and the hard part is to communicate with the members of the team to make sure that everybody is focused on the same goal and is collaborating across the board. Nowadays, in the future, when code is written by an AI, the ability to have a long session that's back and forth and delves into what's working, what's not working, how do you get around that, what are the alternative approaches, what's the advantage, what's the pros and cons of this approach versus that approach. All of those discussions, instead of being had with a developer prior to actually writing code, that becomes something which the creator has with the AIs directly. So there's going to be a lot of dialogue and understanding of what do you really want, and ultimately the code that you get will do what you want and exactly what you want, and it won't have hidden features that you don't know about.
How do you compete with OpenAI if you're a startup building AI products?
Oh, it's not clear that you do. Sometimes, if you can't beat them, you join them. The question becomes how to use OpenAI's technology. I mean, everybody uses search, and you don't even think about it. What used to be, gee, how tall is Mount Diablo? Now you just search, and you can find instantly facts. And so Google did for facts what OpenAI is doing for reasoning or for logic. So I'm not convinced that the smart move is to compete against OpenAI or Google Bard or anybody's AI solution. The large AI solutions are going to be integrated into smaller solutions. So the answer is not how do you beat it, but how do you work with it?
Yeah, I think I'm asking about the reverse of it. If you are a startup doing AI and you have an awesome idea, what happens if OpenAI takes your idea and create a project? There has been instances of that, just like another big company in social media incorporating your idea as a feature of their products. Do you see that happening?
Oh yeah, it's always a risk, especially in the early days when you have what I'll call low-hanging fruit. And if a developer reaches out and puts together some functionality that people find useful, it's awfully difficult to say that somebody else should not incorporate similar capabilities. I mean, people are just naturally competitive, and if somebody does something that is interesting to you, you're going to figure out how to do something that is related. If OpenAI takes your idea, then really your only choice is to drive your idea further and deeper and quicker than OpenAI and get there first.
Is there anything you want to share that I have not asked you?
The interesting phase that we're coming into is instead of the universal, omnipresent, the voice in the sky, uh, if everybody's got an intelligent agent on their phone and that agent knows the owner of the phone pretty well, I think that there's a very interesting area where agents are acting on your behalf and interacting with other agents, and all of the whole society that we've invented for people will evolve in terms of interactions between our agents working on our behalf. It's amazing to me that a light bulb that turns red or green is still used to control cars for 100 years. Eventually, you would expect that the interaction between systems would move to a different level.
What do you think about privacy, though?
Privacy is very important. Everything that you know it because it's connected to other things. And what makes something important is the item itself, but also its relationship to other ideas and concepts in your brain. And if there's no privacy, then everybody's network is exposed. But with privacy, everybody's got the ability to control what parts of their network they want to expose at what time relative to the conversation.
In 2 years, do you think that there will be more capabilities with AI?
Oh, absolutely. If you look 2 years ago, we still had ChatGPT 2, 2.5, and everybody was like, oh, okay, that's interesting, but it wasn't indicative of AGI. In 2 years, we could have systems that look and feel very intelligent, very real, very alive, very much connected. And 2 years, 5 years, that's an exciting world that we're moving towards, and one that everybody's got to find their niche in.
Nice. Is there one piece of advice that you would like to provide to the community?
No, everybody seems to say that the important thing is to find your niche, that you're the best in the world, and push that. I believe that important things are built by teams, and the important thing is to find that set of people that brings out the best in you and allow you to bring out the best in them. Once you've found your team, finding a problem that makes sense for the set of things that your team does becomes obvious based on who your team is and what they want to do.
Awesome. Thank you, Glenn.
Cool. Thank you, Michelle.
Okay, bye bye.
Bye bye.